What are you doing? Oh, get him. Good morning, YouTube. What's up, everybody? I hope you're safe and healthy and happy and doing okay. I asked, you voted. Today we're talking about the Saucony Tempus. Let's go for a run. Alright, so let's start breaking down the Saucony Tempus. Before we get started, I do want to let you know that this shoe was sent to me by Saucony. However, they're not going to see this before you. They're not telling me what to say, and all of my opinions on the Saucony Tempus are my own. So a little bit about what this shoe is. It is supposed to be a fun, kind of speedy stability shoe, and in that category there really are no options. Like, this is the only one kind of its class that features a premium supercritical foam, but also gives the runner the stability that they might need. So far I've taken this shoe on a 5-mile run, it was a negative split run, and a 3-mile easy run. So I do have a little bit of experience in this shoe, and we're going to talk all about today what I think about it. Do I think that this is the answer to the stability runner's problems, or do I think it has a little more work that needs to be done to really perfect it? Hey, get out of there, where's your ball? So as we always do, let's start with the upper. Saucony is using an engineered mesh for the upper of the Tempus. It has some perforation in the forefoot for breathability. The material itself feels pretty structured. In that midfoot there aren't really a ton of overlays. There are towards the back of the heel a bit. And speaking of the heel, it is pretty sturdy with a little stretchy orange pull tab. I think the upper of the shoe is standard. There's really nothing too crazy to report. It does have a gusseted tongue, which is comfortable, and enough padding around the ankle for that to also feel safe and protected. I don't feel like the upper was constricting me in any way, but I will say that I do think it could be a little bit better with breathability. I was wearing sort of a thicker sock, so that could have something to do with it, but I think that it just felt a little bit hot. Turning the shoe this way, it's a standard width for sure. A wide-footed person is probably going to want the wide version of this, which I think does exist or will exist, but I don't think it's particularly narrow. So if you are somebody who has maybe a wider foot but tries to sneak into a more normal fitting shoe, you could probably do that here, especially in the forefoot. It does open up a bit. But there is something else that I want to point out that I'm kind of disappointed about, and it might just be my shoe, it might just be a defect, but this top like overlay here, it's coming off. I can stick my finger under it. So that's kind of disappointing. I don't know if that was just like a factory error with this particular pair. Could very well be. Other than that though, I think the upper's fine. I haven't had any problems with hot spots, blisters, or irritation, so we'll take it. I'm just gonna have to maybe crazy glue this back on. So the real talk of the town with the Tempus is the midsole and how that is constructed. So what Saucony is claiming they did here was provide the runner with a full-length slab of Power Run PB, which is Saucony's premium supercritical foam. They use it in the Speed, they use it in the Pro. It's like the foam. And a stability shoe having that is kind of unimaginable until now, because I'm literally holding it. But everybody knows a characteristic of Power Run PB is that it's not very stable. So what Saucony did to kind of fix that for the stability runner is that they provided a Power Run, just regular Power Run frame that kind of wraps around the perimeter of the shoe. Starts here and it goes up into the arch, around the heel, and back down this way. It's supposed to recenter your foot upon landing, and it also gives you a more like rolling sensation, a nice snappier feel to the shoe, which I do appreciate. Because unlike the Speed and the Pro that have Power Run, this shoe does not have a plate of any kind. In terms of how the Power Run PB feels here and the ride of the shoe, I think it feels pretty good. I do feel a little bit of energy and bounce in that forefoot. It feels a little bit firmer than I like. It could be a case with like the Ride 15 where it feels firm at first, but then it opened up for me. Maybe that'll happen here. But what I will say is that it doesn't feel like the Speed. So if you think you're going to put this shoe on and it's going to feel just like the Speed and the Pro, it's not. It feels a lot more like a standard daily trainer, probably because there is no plate. What's nice about this shoe that I think a lot of stability runners are going to appreciate is that it doesn't feel like a stability shoe on foot. It doesn't feel like it's controlling your stride, controlling the way your foot lands. It feels pretty natural and kind of like a neutral shoe in that respect. So yes, compared to the other shoes that have Power Run PB, it does feel different. But what I will say is that I put this shoe on side by side with the Guide 15, and that shoe felt like a rock compared to this. You definitely feel a more roll forward, more cushioning under your foot in the shoe than you do in the Guide. So how did this shoe feel on my runs? Well, like I said, it didn't feel like it was controlling my stride or forcing me in any sort of way. It felt pretty good in that sense and natural. And it felt decent at like an easier pace, and I actually think it felt pretty good going at like a faster clip, which I think this shoe might be geared towards. It is a daily trainer, but I think that Power Run PB is inviting the runner to go a little bit faster. So when I did pick up the pace on my like negative split run, and I did a stride or two the other day, it felt good. It felt fun, and that turnover was really there and fresh and kind of on autopilot. So I thought that was exciting because that is definitely not something that I have experienced with a stability shoe before. I could see someone using this shoe for a multitude of different things. I think it's going to be pretty versatile. You could do some slower, easier runs. You could do some faster paced stuff here. So I think that is cool about this shoe, is that they managed to make a stability shoe that feels kind of neutral, that can be used for a multitude of different things. So I do really like this shoe. I just guess I thought that it would be a little bit more bouncy and soft in the forefoot. I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at. A little bit more Speed 3-ish of a feel, but I have to remember that there is no plate in here, and it's not the Speed 3. It's the Tempus. Turning the Tempus over, Saucony is using XT900 rubber for it. You can see that it's in the forefoot a bit and some in the heel. This rubber is just fine for me, works great. I really enjoy it. I feel confident that I'm not going to be slipping and sliding all over the place. I think it's much better than the rubber used in the previous versions, in the original Pro and Speed and Pro 2 and Speed 2. Seems like it's going to be durable, stand the test of time. It's a thumbs up for me. So what's this shoe cost? Well, it's $159.95 on runningwarehouse.com. It's a heftier price tag, but it's kind of up there with the Speed 3. I think stability runners who are looking for a shoe like the Speed 3 are willing to pay the same price as the Speed 3. So I do think while it is pricey, it kind of is what it is. If you're interested in picking up this shoe, I'll put a link in the description of this video so you can click that, pick up your own pair. Just keep in mind it is an affiliate link, but that doesn't mean much for you. It just helps out my channel so I can keep making these videos and talking about bright yellow shoes. And I actually kind of dig this colorway a lot. So where am I with this shoe? I know it was kind of a mixed review of going back and forth, but that's what this is, a conversation about how I'm currently feeling about a shoe. I would say I like it. I'm so happy that Saucony did this. I'm so happy that they're going out of the box and kind of reaching for an area that no other brand has ever kind of reached for before. And I love that. I do wish that it was maybe a little bit springier in the forefoot for me, I guess. Maybe it's just my pair, I don't know. But that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. Will I continue to run in this shoe? Do I want to run in this shoe? Absolutely. I think it's a really solid option out there. And also, something that I will say is that if you're not even a stability runner and you just want a shoe with Power Run PB without the carbon fiber plate, this is a really good option and something that you could try out. I don't think it's going to cause you any pain or trouble because it's stability. This shoe will definitely be going to 50 miles, so stay tuned for that. It will take me a while, but since we're up in the mileage with the marathon training, I think that it'll get here a little bit faster. And yeah. All right, Saucony Tempus, the debut video. Well, everybody, that concludes my first run impressions of the Saucony Tempus. If you enjoyed this video, please like it down below and subscribe. And when you're done with all that, hit the notifications bell so you can find out every time I upload a new video. Have you tried this shoe? If you have, let me know in the comments what you think. I need to know what everybody's opinions are. I'm very, very curious. I have another video for you next week, but in the meantime, get out there, get on the grind, and don't forget to run like Heller. See you next time. What are you doing? Oh, get him. Get him. Where are you going? Want me to throw it? All right, bye.